Hello again, and welcome back. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, whenever you might happen to be watching us today. We are back with another short story. For those of you who don't know, yes, we are on a break from D&D for the moment. We will be back very soon. We've just got some people on holiday and some people dealing with family matters. But very soon we'll be back to the main game. In the meantime, another short story for you here today. This one, a little bit of a political one. Demonstrating the relationships between some of the major steel cities on Olyndar. And I think actually this might be the first time that I've put out one of these stories, and I'm already thinking about the part 2 that we're going to have for it. So, stick around, enjoy this one, and I think the next thing that I'm going to release is probably going to be a continuation of it. So, speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.
The meeting chamber of Titan's Council Hall was a masterpiece of architectural ambition, its high vaulted ceilings and crystalline windows casting refracted light across the polished marble floor. At the center of the room stood a grand circular table, adorned with the sigils of Titan, Alum, Bronze, and Pallid. This was the chosen venue for discussions between the cities, a neutral ground within the city of Titan, whose famed Order of the Iron Soul ensured the sanctity of diplomatic meetings. Seated at the head of the table was Valdara Sarnai, the eminent speaker of the amulet, a coalition of arcane scholars and artificers dedicated to fostering magical innovation and intercity cooperation. Her emerald robes shimmered faintly with arcane embroidery, and her poised demeanor commanded attention. Across from her sat Lord Tyrrelmord, the Lord Mayor of Titan, a figure of stalwart conviction, his white hair contrasting against the steel blue of his formal armor. Flanking the table were the ambassadors. Ulrun Nevin of Alum, clad in austere black with a steely expression that matched his city's anti-magic dogma. Ilmaris Tidewatch of Bronze, whose weathered face bore the marks of a life spent amidst the salt and spray of his seafaring city. And Lisa Pallist of Pallid, elegant yet practical in her tailored vestments, her keen eyes betraying an innate pragmatism. Valdara leaned forward, her hands steepled. Esteemed leaders and ambassadors, thank you for gathering today. What I present to you is not merely a proposal, but an opportunity to reshape the trade network of our continent, a system of magical teleportation circles that would link our cities. She gestured gracefully to an arcane map that shimmered into existence above the table, showing the trade routes between the cities. Imagine, if you will, the ability to move goods instantaneously. Perishable items, fresh produce, seafood, even medicines, could be traded without risk of spoilage. The economic implications are staggering, not only for merchants, but for the prosperity of all our cities. Lord Tyrrelmord smiled, his voice warm. The potential here is undeniable. Faster trade, greater profits, reduced costs for transportation. The people of our cities would benefit immeasurably. Titan already works closely with the amulet on magical matters, and I can vouch for their integrity. Ulrun Nevin's sharp laugh cut through the chamber like a dagger. Integrity? With all due respect, Lord Tyrrelmord, that's not the word I would use for magic users. Magic is volatile, dangerous, and prone to abuse. Alum will not endorse a system that risks destabilizing trade or putting power into the hands of those who answer to no one. Valdara's gaze didn't waver. Ambassador Nevin, the teleportation network would be regulated by all participating cities. Safeguards would be put in place, overseen by neutral arbiters to ensure fairness and security. This is not an unregulated proposal. And yet, Nevin countered, you expect us to trust you with this? Alum's technological advancements have never required arcane interference, and we've thrived without it. Introducing magic into our economy is a slippery slope, one I won't allow my city to slide down. Lysa Pallist cleared her throat, her voice measured. Ambassador Nevin raises valid concerns, Valdara. While I'm intrigued by the idea of a teleportation network, the risks can't be dismissed out of hand. What assurances can you provide that this system won't be exploited? Valdara turned her attention to Pallist, her tone calm but firm. Ambassador Pallist, the amulet proposes a council of representatives, one from each city, who would oversee the circles. Their operation would be transparent, with strict protocols to prevent misuse. Furthermore, the teleportation circles themselves would be crafted with fail-safes, limiting them strictly to trade goods and preventing unauthorized travel. Ilmaris Tidewatch, who had been silent until now, leaned forward, his brow furrowed. And what of the cost? Crafting these circles and maintaining them won't be cheap. Who shoulders that burden? The merchants? The cities? And how do we prevent one city from dominating the network and setting the terms? Valdara inclined her head. A fair question, Ambassador Tidewatch. The initial cost would be split among the participating cities, with each city contributing based on its trade volume. As for dominance, the Council of Representatives would ensure equal footing for all. No city would have unilateral control. Lord Tyrrellmord spread his hands. There is precedent for cooperative ventures. Titan and Palad have partnered in the past on public infrastructure projects. Why not extend that cooperation to something with far greater benefits? Ulrin Nevins scowled. Because it's magic, Tyrrellmord. You may be comfortable relying on sorcery, but Alum will not. Trade should be built on hard work, ingenuity, and trust, not the whims of arcane forces. Valdara's calm facade cracked slightly, her voice tinged with frustration. Ambassador Nevin, your city's fear of magic blinds you to its potential. This is not about replacing hard work or ingenuity. It's about enhancing them. Bronze and Pallid, your cities rely on trade routes that are slow and fraught with risk. Titan, you've seen firsthand how magic can transform lives. Why should we not harness that power for the greater good? Ilmaris Tidewatch exchanged a glance with Lysa Palast, his weathered features thoughtful. If what you say is true, Valdara, then this network could indeed benefit Bronze. But Nevin's concerns about regulation and misuse aren't without merit. How can we trust that the amulet won't prioritize its own interests? Valdara met his gaze evenly. Because the amulet thrives on collaboration. Our purpose is to advance knowledge and improve lives, not to hoard power. The teleportation circles are a tool, a means to an end, not an end in themselves. Palast sighed, her expression torn. The idea of perishable goods reaching Pallid unspoiled is appealing. Our markets would flourish, but the fear of arcane overreach lingers. Perhaps a trial period? One circle between two cities to test the system before committing fully. Tyrrellmord nodded. A wise compromise. Titan would gladly participate in such a trial. Nevin crossed his arms. Alum will not be party to this experiment. If the rest of you wish to gamble with magic, so be it. But don't expect Alum to clean up the mess when it goes wrong. Valdara's expression softened, though her determination remained. Ambassador Nevin, I hope that in time your city will see the value of cooperation. For now, I will take the proposal under advisement and draft terms for a trial period. If successful, perhaps even Alum might reconsider. The tension in the room remained palpable as the meeting adjourned. Tyrrellmord lingered for a moment, turning to Valdara with a small smile. You're fighting an uphill battle, but it's worth it. Don't give up. Valdara nodded, her voice resolute. I won't. Progress is never easy, but it's always necessary.